we're hiking up the mountain and I wanted to point out a tree. Why not? You know, there's more out here than just animals. We have a lot of cool plants. And here in Pennsylvania, if you ever come up here and you go hiking and you go camping, one of the most popular trees that are called understory trees, they're not real big trees, they're small trees, is a maple. And we're all familiar with maples. We get maple syrup from maples. We probably have sugar maples and silver maples in our backyards. We have a maple here that's called moose leaf maple. It's also called striped maple. And the reason why it's called striped maple is because if you look at the bark, you can see all the stripes running down it. And so these maples have these big stripes. And if you look at the leaves, these are small leaves right now. Here's a leaf that's about the size of my head. And that's why it's called moose leaf maple, because they got those big leaves. So it's the same tree, striped maple, moose leaf maple. They have really big leaves, so a lot of people call them moose leaf maple because they're so big leaves, but it's actually a striped maple. As you can see with the bark has these nice stripes on it. If you're ever hiking in Pennsylvania, you're going to see a lot of them all over the place. Striped maples, you can easily tell because they got those stripes, but they also got the leaves that are about the size of your head, hence the name moose leaf maple. All right, we got another thing here. This is an arthropod. It's like an insect or a bug. It's got the hard skeleton on the outside of its body, like insects do. But this one has many, many legs. Many legs. Some might say 1,000,000 legs, but not really. This is a millipede. This millipede, and like many other millipedes, are harmless to us. Millipedes have 2 legs per body segment, whereas centipedes only have 1 pair of legs per body segment. Centipedes don't actually have 100 legs, and millipedes don't actually have 1,000,000 legs. But you can see there sure is a lot of legs there. As I said, these guys are harmless, but really cool. Look at all those legs moving. How neat. And just like those newts, he's out and about looking for food. I don't know if he's going to go back on the tree. We can put him down here on the forest floor. He doesn't want to let go. He'll carry on looking for something to eat. A little tiny cricket maybe. How cool. That is an American giant millipede. That's the name of them. And as you can tell, they're quite big. Harmless, fantastic little critters. American giant millipede. All right, so we're here in the woods and we've been hiking today to get up to this exact point because I was here last week and sitting right here, I found a rattlesnake. And this rattlesnake I knew. He was a rattlesnake that I had caught before and that I had been tracking for quite some time now. And I found him, he was sitting right here and I caught him. I brought him back to my research lab and I collected a whole bunch of data. And now a week later, we're bringing him back and we're gonna release him right here. You probably just heard him rattling. He knows he's home. He wants to get out of his snake bag and he wants to go back doing what he was doing. And in fact, he's in the middle of shedding his skin, so he's gonna look a little rough. You can see some of the skin coming off of his body, like a sleeve. He's just gonna crawl out of it. Probably not right now, but maybe a little bit later. Now, it's important to note that these rattlesnakes, they're dangerous, they're venomous. We don't want to get bit by them, so we need to be careful. So I have my trusty snake tongs here that I can use to catch the snake. and make sure I keep the snake a good distance away from me at all times. Our snake is sitting here in a snake bag. Here he is. You can see his head right over here. He's poking around. He's trying to get out. So I'm pinning the bag down with my tongs so I can undo the knot here. This snake was about 5 feet in length. And he's probably about as thick as round as my arm. You can see he's ready to go. Now he's still a good distance away from me. You can see that he shed some skin up by his head, but his body is still this dull color. And he still needs to shed that. He wants to go. So we're gonna let him go. I'll take you guys. I'll bring you over here. You can watch him as he's leaving. You might catch a glimpse of his rattle. We painted it. I put a little bit of blue nail polish on it. That way I can tell it's him if I ever see him again. Oh, he's so happy to be home. There's that blue nail polish. Long rattle on him. Do you see him? Here he is. He knows where he's at. He knows he's home. As you saw, all he wanted to do, he didn't attack me or anything. He just wanted to be on his way. There's that rattle. That's why they're called rattlesnakes. He'll rattle that around. That's all dead skin. Every time he sheds, he adds a segment to that. Sometimes a snake will shed once a year. Sometimes they'll shed their skin twice a year. And sometimes those rattle segments fall off. That's why we can't use those to estimate the age of the animal. Because if they're putting 2 on a year, well, that's not representative of his age. If they're falling off, well, then that's not going to help us either. We'll let them be. You can see the mountain laurels are starting to bloom. Beautiful white flowers. He's just going to hang out with those mountain laurel blossoms. Bye, Mr. Rattlesnake. Take care.